Well, John, 3 on the bounce, back into the top 6 again. Just what did you make of today's performance?
It was a different performance from us. We would love to be able to perform every week like we did last week and also against Sydney, but these games can throw a little bit, a banana skin at you, especially for the younger players, because they haven't dealt with being, in this position before. So I thought that we found a way to win today, and that's a step forward for us, because at the beginning of the season when we were dominating games, we weren't able to win those games. So I thought that was great. Another clean sheet here. I think that's 3 clean sheets out of the last 4 games. So again, we're building on that. The players looked a little bit flat today, heavy. It didn't look as sharp as what we have been. But that's okay. You need to find a way when you're not feeling your best to win a game.
Would you put that down to just too many mince pies, or what was it?
No, I don't think so. I think that, we have to look at, maybe the travel back from Auckland. Did we do enough during the week? We felt that they looked good in training during the week, that they weren't looking flat. But today, even Angus Thurgate said that he wasn't feeling good. So when Angus is saying that, then we know that the rest might not be feeling the best. So, the 1v1 that they had in the first half was offside beforehand. We went back and had a look, and it was clearly offside. And they're a side that I've seen and watched, and they can really cause you problems. Against Wanderers, 2-2 away from home, MacArthur 4-all. So we wanted to try and limit them as much as possible. We weren't as good going forward, but they didn't really create that many chances.
Getting the penalty today, we asked Ruben about it. He of the view that it was a very soft one. What was your view of it?
No, it was a clear penalty. Clear. We all appealed. I don't know who didn't appeal. Gussie felt that. He felt it. I think it was pretty clear.
John, what did Thurgate say to you pre-game when he said he wasn't feeling good?
No, he didn't say it pre-game. He said it post-game. If he said it pre-game, I would have been a bit worried. He said it post-game. He goes, he didn't feel as good today as he has the last few weeks. So that's okay. That's part of it. We'll recover. We've got a short turnaround against Perth, and then we'll get ready for that.
Was it a focus today to be defensive-minded rather than attacking?
No, our focus was to attack them. It's just sometimes, that the way the game goes, that we're not pressing as well as we did last few games or what we've done this season, and they are able to play through you a little bit and keep control of the ball, but our focus was to attack them.
Just on Matty Sutton, obviously had to wait a bit of time to sort of get a consistent run of games. Some big saves the last couple of weeks. Still sort of young for a goalkeeper. What do you sort of see his growth and his performances so far?
Yeah, his growth's been exceptional, and I think that not only the growth with the saves that he's making, it's also that his decision making on the ball's gone to another level. When he felt that we weren't really comfortable playing out, he decided that, all right, everyone up on goal kicks. And so his decision making was good, and that helped the players. And he's growing in confidence. You can really see it. That each game he feels like he's comfortable. And I always say to the players that you have to be ready for your opportunity, because you don't know when it's going to come. His come a week before the season started because Tommy went down, and he was ready for it, and he's taken it.
Your best winning streak since March last year. I know before the start of the season you were talking about the belief in the team and that you thought you could beat anyone in the league. What's the sort of mood like now? Do you have that sort of genuine belief that you could go even all the way?
Oh, look, there's a long way to go. We just have to keep building. I was probably... It's funny to say, I was probably more nervous about this game in terms of the way that it might pan out than I was last week. I knew last week that we'll give them a hell of a game. This week I was a little bit worried because the young boys haven't dealt with playing a team that's down the bottom when you're actually on a good roll. And so, it's different. It's different for them. They had to deal with it in a different way. Now, whether that zaps them a little bit in energy-wise, you look at the players we have out there, the majority of them, are very, very young. So they'll learn from this, and again, you can't you can't play at your best every week, but if you can find ways to win, then that's also growth as a team.
So on the age profile of your side, we knew your team would improve as the season goes on, purely because they would get exposed to senior football. But now we're looking at them on a 3-game winning run in the top 6, wondering where this might go. What do you feel are fair expectations for your side for the season ahead? Obviously, the temptation will be liddies off, but what do you think are fair expectations for this young group?
Well, Joey, I think you, and it wasn't your fault, it was me being angry against Victory after the Victory game. So that was my expectations. My expectations that we should be confident to beat any team. Now, where that takes us, I don't know, because there's a lot of football still to be played. Hopefully that we don't get injuries and all that. This little period's really important because there's a lot of games coming up. We probably might lose 1 or 2 of the under-20 national team, so things can happen. But I just see that the development of the younger players week in, week out. So Reece Bozanowski was so dominant last week and also against Sydney FC. And today he had to find way into the game, and he did. And so that will happen with the younger players. The same with Abel. Wasn't probably as dominant, but then he still found the way to cause problems for the opposition. So the younger boys are learning from this. Where that takes us, we want to be competitive each and every game, and then we'll see where we end up.
Just sort of building on what you're saying about the young players getting experience. I mean, this was an ugly game. It was a scrappy affair. They could have got a point. But is it actually more valuable for your young players to learn to win ugly the way they did today than go and blast out the league leaders and a real day out that no one expected? Yeah,
and look, we when we beat Auckland, that they would have been feeling that they're going to win like that every week a little bit because they're young. They feel if we can beat the league leaders like that, we can. But you're not always going to feel good. It's like anyone sometimes wakes up in the morning and feels better one day than they do the next. That's the same with a footballer. So you're not always going to feel good. It's how you respond when you're not feeling good. How do you end up getting the result? We were dominant against MacArthur here and we didn't get the result. So then you start going, okay, we need to find a way to win those games. And I thought today we did. The last 2 games before that, we were very, very good with the ball. Today, less so.
January's coming up, John. Some windows open before the A-Leagues. We're already seeing reports around the likes of Thomas Waddingham getting interest from overseas. You've got plenty of promising young players as well. Is there any interest in any of your players coming from overseas clubs you might lose in January?
Not that I know of. I hope not. Not only for the club's sake, also for the individuals. I still think there's quite a few of those younger players that need more football in their legs. And once they do that, we will be happy as a club, and also myself as I won't say I'm a mentor, but I like to see these players end up going overseas because I want them to get to the highest level, but they're not ready yet.
Well, I guess, how do you balance that? Because you might have a player that you don't feel is ready, but if Unspecified FC comes up and puts 7 figures in front of you, what do you do then?
Well, that's also up to the club. I don't make that final decision. I can only give the player advice, first of all, as a coach, and then also as someone that's seen a lot of players go at the wrong time or go at the right time, and what's happened with their careers. And also, my personal experiences. So I do that on occasions with the younger players that it might get hit up a little bit in terms of, people talking about them going over. But at this present time, I think I'm comfortable that we won't lose anyone.
There was a bit of talk about Lockie Wales coming. Would you like him down, and is that a chance?
I haven't heard any more, and I'm not sure if that's a chance from our side in terms of the club. I'm not sure if we're able to get anyone else anyway.
Just one more, the win, do you think that's a factor? I know I asked you last time, but was that a factor in today's game, and What do you think on the wind? Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's not easy to play with that wind. It's not easy to judge the ball. I thought that we probably would have had 3 good one-on-ones in the second half if maybe the wind didn't take the ball away, because we got them in good areas. But we have to deal with it. That's where we are. I don't think the wind's going to die down anytime soon. We have to make sure that we're able to capitalise on it and make it half the opposition. Thank you.